A few days ago, my closest friend asked me if I would stand beside him at his wedding. I paused for a moment because I wasn't particularly fond of traditional customs, like the bride's ransom and playful games. However, he assured me that my only duty was to keep him from drinking too much at the reception to avoid any embarrassing moments with his soon-to-be wife's family. Eventually, I agreed. As a gesture of gratitude, I was paired with an absolutely enchanting co-witness named Lila. We spent the entire evening sitting at the same table, engaging in delightful conversations. Later, we swayed together on the dance floor, and before the night ended, I managed to get Lila's number. That led to countless nights out, several dates, a heartfelt proposal, a walk down the aisle, and eventually, visits to the maternity ward, not just once, but twice. Fast forward over 15 years, and here we are, raising two boys who are no longer little. All these years, we've truly been inseparable. If anyone had asked me about my idea of a perfect relationship, I would have pointed to the bond between my wife and me as the ideal example. But that belief turned out to be my greatest mistake. I was deeply involved in the construction business, while Lila devoted herself to a career in human resources. Her dedication to her job was undeniable. She spent endless hours learning and improving. She created various employee engagement programs for our company and occasionally conducted training workshops. My admiration for Lila knew no bounds because she truly inspired our colleagues to approach their work with enthusiasm. Recently, Lila developed her own training program focused on improving workplace productivity through better team collaboration. Her expertise gained widespread recognition, leading to invitations from different cities to conduct sessions. My sons and I always supported her, encouraging her to pursue these important opportunities. Admittedly, our time together became limited, but it felt unfair to blame Lila for the little attention she could give us, considering the demands of her career. Ironically, her next business trip coincided with her birthday. She never let professional responsibilities take a back seat, so she decided to postpone her personal celebrations. This moment is etched in my memory, the suitcase resting near the doorway, Lila carefully adjusting the metal hands of her watch, her passport and tickets neatly tucked into her purse alongside her phone and charger. She turned to us with a quick glance and a playful smile. "All right, don't miss me too much. I'll be back before you know it," she said. With that, she shut the door with a firm thud. And as soon as she left, the kids and I hurriedly began packing our bags. You see, a few days earlier, we had secretly planned to throw a surprise birthday party for my wife and completely catch her off guard. The morning after Lila's departure arrived bright and early. As soon as we woke up, we called her, wished her a happy birthday, and skillfully kept our excitement hidden over the phone. Then, without wasting a moment, we rushed to the airport. After a long and tiring flight, we finally landed in the quiet town where she was staying. Stepping into the crisp, fresh air, we hailed a cab and told the driver to take us to the hotel where my beloved was lodging. The taxi driver, however, gave us a doubtful look. "There's no hotel by that name in this city," he said flatly. I quickly responded, "There has to be. My wife is staying there," she told me herself. She mentioned it was a small, secluded, and rather unusual place, I added. The driver shook his head. "Look, I've been driving a taxi in this city for 17 years, and I've never heard of such a place. Do you have the exact address? If not, then you're out of luck." Frustrated, we stepped out of the cab and headed back to the airport, hoping to find some answers. Yet, even there, no one had the slightest idea about the hotel. My frustration boiled over. How is it possible that no one knows this hotel? I fumed. My wife arrived just yesterday and checked in. But then came a response that sent a chill down my spine. Sir, there's no way your wife boarded a flight yesterday, the airport staff explained. Flights from your city only depart every third day. Did you check the schedule when booking tickets? Or is it possible she flew from another location? I shook my head firmly. No, she didn't leave from any other city. There must be some kind of mistake. The ticket agent then informed me that the next flight home was leaving in about an hour, and after that, the next one wouldn't be available for another 3 days. I turned to my kids, feeling utterly defeated. Looks like the surprise isn't happening. I need to call Grandma. There I stood, stranded in an unfamiliar airport with my 2 children, desperately trying to reach my wife. But she wasn't answering her phone. Moments later, a text finally appeared. Busy. Really? I knew she was busy, but where? Why? And with whom? I was on the verge of losing my sanity, though I somehow managed to stay composed. We're in a tough situation, I muttered. We need to get tickets as soon as possible, or we'll be stuck here for 3 days. The journey home was spent in complete silence. My boys were old enough to sense that something wasn't right. Yet, I refused to jump to conclusions. I clung to the hope that there was a logical explanation for everything. By the time we arrived home, it was already quite late. All right, I said, forcing a casual tone. Let's eat and get some rest. Not a word to Mom about this failed trip. Let's keep it to ourselves. The boys nodded and went to bed. But sleep completely escaped me. Then, all of a sudden, my phone rang. It was Lila. Hey there, I couldn't call you earlier. Are you already in bed? Hey, yeah, the kids are fast asleep, but I'm still up, I replied. Listen, can you remind me where exactly you're staying in the city? Like I told you, she answered without hesitation. Ah, got it. I was thinking of sending you some flowers, but I couldn't remember the address, I lied, trying to hide the storm raging inside me. I already told you the name of the hotel, she said. Yes, but when I checked, they had no record of it and couldn't find the address, I countered. Oh, come on. What's with the flowers? She laughed. I'm flying back tomorrow evening anyway. Where would I even keep the bouquet? Don't worry, I'll come by and wish you in person, I responded, testing her reaction. Well, I'm heading to bed now. Good night. Yes, let's wait for you. Good night, she said casually. The moment I hung up, my whole body trembled. I should have checked the flight schedule sooner. Keeping a straight face while listening to such obvious lies was unbearable. The next evening, Lila returned. We wished her a happy birthday and had a family dinner. She acted as if nothing had happened, as if everything was completely normal. I decided to probe a little, asking subtle questions about her trip. She answered them all effortlessly, lying without the slightest hesitation. That was the moment I reached my breaking point. I've had enough, Lila. The truth is out, I said firmly. She looked at me, startled. The boys and I planned a surprise for you. We arrived in the city yesterday, only to find out that the flights and hotel you mentioned don't even exist. And then it hit me, there have been too many inconsistencies in your past work trips as well. Just tell me the truth already. Lila lowered her eyes, her voice barely above a whisper. Please forgive me. You are the best father to our children, the most devoted husband anyone could ask for. That's all I have to say. She took a shaky breath before continuing. I never thought you would find out the truth. I never meant to hurt you. I've been seeing someone for 2 years. It wasn't anything serious. I was about to end it, but he threatened to expose everything to you. Please, forgive me. Leave, I demanded. She looked at me in disbelief. Where do you expect me to go in the middle of the night? What about the kids? You should have thought about them before, I snapped. Go back to your lover, though don't forget, he has his own family. I can't just walk away. I have responsibilities too, she argued. Leave anyway, I insisted. And so she did. The kids chose to stay with me. They felt deeply betrayed by their mother, not just for what she had done to me, but for what she had done to our entire family. I understand that children need their mother, but I can't force them to see her. I can only hope that time will eventually heal this wound. But for now, everything remains painfully complicated.